Welcome everybody on this new episode. This is futmex in English, and we're glad to be again with you in this channel, this platform. Jesus Bernal, how are you? Nice to meet you again in this video. How are you?
I'm fine, Chema. I'm glad to be back here again and ready to talk about the latest news of Liga MX because there have been a lot of things to talk about in the last hours. And so let's begin.
Yeah, it's a lot of issues, a lot of things to talk about. First of all, and we spoke about it, the title of this video, El Tuca Ferreti is back in the road. He's back again to taking the lead in Cruz Azul. It's really a choice, Tuca Ferreti, for taking again the bench. He's one of the most successful coaches in Mexican football. But the way he works, his method, the way he treats young guys and all that stuff, and the way it's going Cruz Azul is the right choice for driving this team, Chuy?
I think Tuca Ferreti is an old school, old-fashioned coach.
Totally.
So the Cruz Azul's bet is to go like for the most secure play, like they don't want to take risks. Cruz Azul has been a mess after the title, so they've been struggling a lot to get a good coach and have results. So their bet now is to go for Tuca Ferreti and play safe. Like he knows the Liga, he knows how to make points, he's always competitive, except with Juarez, but the rest of the teams he been coaching, he's always competitive. So for me, Cruz Azul is playing safe. That's what they're doing. I mean, it's not like the coach I would like to have in my team if I want to entertain people, but he's the coach I would like to have if I need results. So I think it's a good bet, but it's like coming back to the basics,
Yeah, but there's something we need to look out. Look at the whole picture, because who's going to be the assistant to Tuca Ferreti, the first assistant?
Memo Vázquez.
Yeah, Memo Vázquez was the one who lost that final against America. That final that is still on Cruz Azul fans and the memory of not only America and Cruz Azul, but the whole Mexican football fans. And that's something we cannot forget. And that's one of a lot of things we can ask about. Why Tuca Ferreti? You said that, and I'm agreeing with that. An old school coach, an old school manager, the way he choose the one players who need for the future, but the methods for working and all that you say, that's the most secure way to try to improve. But we don't really know where it's heading through the project, because you have earlier in this tournament El Potro Gutierrez, and now a young coach, and now you are bringing an old school coach that's totally out to understand where are they trying to go.
I don't know. I think they are desperate. They are desperate. That's why they hired Tuca Ferreti. Like I said, they want points. They want results. Probably this is the first important decision taken by Oscar Perez, who is going to be the next. How do you say it?
Manager?
Like the next manager. That's what he will be playing that role. So I believe this is his choice. This is his decision. So yeah, I mean, if you are trying to establish what is Cruz Azul looking for, I would say points and results, because that's what Tuca Ferreti can give to your team, to be competitive, to get wins, to make points, to go to Liguilla and all that stuff that we all already know. But I don't think there's a project, or it might start to be one with Tuca Ferreti, but they didn't have it clear, because they also interviewed Hugo Sanchez, and they talked with Toño Mohamed, and they also talked with Jimmy Lozano, and they have nothing to do with each other. They're totally different coaches. So Yeah, I mean, that's like a mirror of what always is going on the Liga MX. You there's it's so strange that a team have a project. Probably León, Pachuca, they keep like the same coaches line. But if you go to any other team, they don't know what to do. They just bring coaches like whatever.
Or Legi, like organization, they are trying to improve always the same model of coaches, the same model of managers. Yep, but there's only 14 we're talking about, not even Chivas, because they had Cadena, and now it's the whole project with Fernando Hierro and Paunovic. But something that we have to be sure, we're sure about that, Cruz Azul is not going to be spectacular now.
No.
If they had something close to be spectacular, forget about it. We're not going to see something nice in the games. Maybe we could fall asleep when we see Cruz Azul on the bench or in the TV or in the pitch. So I think this is not the best decision, and Mexican soccer is going steps back, on its own back, because this kind of decisions. I'm not sure why a lot of teams, or some teams like Cruz Azul, and specifically talking about Monterrey Rayados, are trying to improve with coaches on this way, in this old-fashioned way. They want, of course, results immediately, but that's not a real project.
But there's also one reflection that I make about all of this, and what you're saying is the young coaches, the young Mexican coaches, they are closing the doors instead of opening doors. If you see what Rafa Puente has done, what Benjamin Mora is doing in Atlas, what Marcelo Michel Año did with Chivas, they're closing doors. And what clubs are doing is looking for those old school and old fashioned coaches that give you results. Because the new coaches, the young coaches, I don't know what's going on with them, but they cannot consolidate their projects in any Liga MX team.
Absolutely.
Tell me a good new coach.
Larcamón. No, there's no single coach.
Larcamón, he's a foreigner, so he's not Mexican.
There's no new managers. There's no new coaches. I mean, Diego Coca is not a new coach, and it's Argentinian. So there's no Mexican new coaches, and nobody is turning on the second league, on Expansión. There are coaches that maybe...
And there are many old coaches. Mario Garcia, Paco Ramirez, Poncho Sosa, they're old.
Poncho Sosa, do you think is an old
he's not as old as Tuca Ferreti, obviously, but they are not as young as Marcelo Michel Año.
No, that's right.
Those coaches are like in the mid-50s.
But there's Alexis Moreno. He's 32 years old.
Oh yeah, he's young. But he's the only one.
Yeah, there's not too many even in this league. No, so it's even in Expansión, it's hard to find out some coaches at the level for Liga MX. Changing the subject, Chuy, we need to talk about this new issue that's coming out the last few hours. Yon de Luisa is out, and he resigns to continue on the chair for the presidency of Liga MX, and not Liga MX, for Mexican Federation. Who's going to be the next president, Chuy? Who do you think he can be?
That's the question right there. He quit. He didn't want to keep on that chair, still on that chair. And let's say it, he failed. The Mexican national team was eliminated in the group stages. The Olympic team didn't make it to the Olympics. The women's team didn't make it to the World Cup. So it was a mess. This project was a totally mess. So that's a good question. Who's going to be the next one? I don't know. But
I have 4 names for you. You tell me which one would you like to be there.
Okay, just let me finish. I believe that Grupo Orlegui might take over the federation. That's what I believe.
You know where I'm going through.
Let me hear you.
Mikel Arriola, number one. Choice number one. He's the one.
Okay, so he will be moving from Liga MX to Federation, and then the board of directors will have to find for another Liga MX president in case this happens.
Yeah, that's something. If Mikel takes that lead, and you know he's a political guy, so he's trying to get there. He's doing everything to get there. Second choice, Jose Riestra. What do you think about that name?
I mean, he did a really good job with Santos Laguna, and he has done a really good job with Atlas. There's no way to say a different thing. He got 2 titles in a row with the Atlas team, so of course he knows how to work.
But it's not the same thing working at the level of at teams, clubs level.
And his brother is not going to be in FIFA, so
that's something. Third one, Santiago Baños. What do you think about America's new manager? And I think we lost Chuy, but we are trying to recover immediately. So,
okay, number three,
Santiago Baños. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think so.
Not at all. Santiago Baños, the America's manager.
No.
Don't you think it's a good choice? And my fourth name, the last one, Mauricio Culebro.
Okay, for me it's so clear.
Televisa, but don't forget something. He's coming from Tigres.
And that's it.
We're having a little issues with the Chuy. He's immediately coming right back. Okay, Mauricio Culebro worked for Televisa. That's what the last thing I could hear about you, Chuy. Mauricio Culebro is totally linked to Grupo Televisa, but he's not working for Tigres organization. In fact, Yon de Luisa's second or right hand was in America when he was the president in America, Mauricio Culebro. He was one of his right hand, and now he's working at Tigres. Maybe that could be a nice, something interesting, but still linked to Grupo Televisa. That's something we cannot forget.
Yeah, for me, it's like I said, like Grupo Televisa and Grupo Orlegui, the 2 biggest groups in Mexican soccer right now. So let's see who gets the chair. You know,
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of how we can say that kicks below the table. Going to be a lot of punches below the table. So that's going to be a nice weeks, a nice days when we get to know who's going to be the next president in Mexican Federation. Chuy, thank you very much, and we'll be here maybe the next week talking about a lot of stuff that's going on around Mexican football and Liga MX and Football Federation, all that tree stuff. That's a lot of nice to be with you again. This is Jose Maria Garrido, and Chuy Bernal is right with us in a second. Chuy, nice to be with you. Thank you. Goodbye, guys.